I think that I'm going to give a little video tour of my backyard. It is July 5th, 2017. And let's start here with my raspberries. I had to replant these because my puppy dogs love to dig this up, and they have actually been pretty bad at dig. They were at the beginning of the year, but I think they're catching on now. I put down this grid, this wire grid. But I have 3 varieties of raspberry. Next year they'll be big. I didn't get raspberries off of it. You may see the occasional one, amaranthus out here. They're all throughout the yard. In fact, that whole patch back there is amaranthus. Okay, they're all volunteers. I just didn't weed them. There is a watermelon, and when I bought a little $2 package, it had actually 2 sprouts, and so there's the other sprout. I separated them and planted them separate. You can see I have a little cage over it, and it has survived well. Now, I am having all kinds of luck with my tomato. This is one I bought, and the other one back there in the cage is one I bought. But the truth is, I just bought those 2, but I have several others that were volunteer tomatoes, and I just let them come through. This down here, this is volunteer. I'm sure it's a cherry tomato. Now, it's probably hard to tell one from another, but this is another separate tomato plant. And there is one in here, if you can see that, in with my walnut tree. This is my walnut tree, which, by the way, is already recovering so well. Look at how big it's becoming. Look at how tall. That walnut tree is... You might recall that my puppy dogs destroyed it, and this spot right here, that cut right there was where the original trunk went. I cut it off, and this was just a branch, but it's now the trunk. So, and another amaranthus in there with it. I have trouble with peppers. He just looks sick. He is not happy. If anyone watching this has some suggestions on what looks wrong with this pepper, I would love to hear. I had trouble with my peppers last year. I had a pepper here, a jalapeno pepper here, and Lucille, wherever she is, she's not out here. Lucille I saw her pick it up once, and then I actually planted it, and it caught her and put it back in the ground, and then she did it again. It was dead. Now, I left a patch of amaranth. This is actually kind of why I grabbed the camera, because I left this patch of amaranthus out here. It was one plant last year, and I let grow out here, and it just has been amaranthus like crazy. But isn't it kind of cool looking? These top, it's like you have 2 types. It's weird. I wish I knew more of the what do you call that? The science behind it. Because there's these also that are more like, I think of these more like dreadlocks, but these look like little tassels, like little, like it's all should be Lovelace bleeding. It was a Lovelace bleeding last year. Okay, and then I have potatoes, and my first time ever growing potatoes. That's what you see here, and there's one, and there's one. And I'm almost sure that that is one. And the problem with potatoes is they look like weeds, and I just picked one out of the ground right there. So I think I'm gonna have one there. That I thought might have been, but that's amaranthus. But I'm gonna let it go. Oh yeah, and another potato right there. I don't know if there's anything else to show. I'm to this far on the fence so far. When I can afford it, I'll do some more. My pear tree. This is one of the oldest plants on my property. I planted this when I barely first moved in about 6 years ago. And my smoke bush. It's a little past my smoke bush though. It really did work out. It looks good. And I put this cage around it so the dogs wouldn't eat it. Well, that's it. And there's Dot.